sunshine, coming to you with my morning drive. State Police crime scene investigator. Today's topic, I'm kind of conflicted. I'm getting a lot of messages. I had to think twin flames in the city because I was pretty much based off of what I seen on the movie Sex in the City. I was watching that with Mom yesterday. But then they got a song here that was, oh, now they went away just that fast. By Shalimar. No, that's how you. This is for the lover in you. This ring says I'll always be true. This is that we start loving you. This time it's gonna last forever. So I don't have my singing voice early in the morning. It comes later on. Somebody said I have like a preacher's voice. In the morning, I'll be like, and by the afternoon, the preacher voice kicks in. But I want to kind of start off first. Started off with understanding. Ooh, I want to get over. Hold on 1 second. Okay, you heard that? All right, let me get up real quick. Hold on. Which is all right. Yeah, so those two. But first I want to say, please like and share with these messages. That helps for other people to find me, and also I pour a lot of energy into my channel. I'm not one that's out there that's just for the money and just to be out there, just to be seen. These things every day I tap into what the powers that be want me to say to you all, what they feel that is important of a message that needs to get out to you all. And this morning, I'll just be honest, I'm waking up with feeling some kind of sort of way about some things with the channel and the progress in which it should be going. One reason why I'm waking up some sort of kind of way is because I put on about the DM. The DMs are collectively opening up themselves, and they came to me and said, you know, we're ready. They can ask us any kind of questions, and we'll use you as an instrument to be able, and a tool to be able to answer questions. I looked several times on my email. I just knew I was going to be flooded and inundated with a lot of questions, especially when the DM stated that they are open, and I got a sign from my own DM that said they're open. And I only got one question. God bless you, Danielle. That's a beautiful name, and your first name is beautiful. Only one to ask the question. I'm not asking for you to give me any money. I almost feel like crying. And I'm gonna put it up there. I'm not asking for you to give me any money. I'm not asking for you to give any money. However, what I am is asking for you is, Jupiter 1111 says, it's just your time. And I'm finding with the divine feminines, you all are kind of really saying things, but you're not putting any actions behind it. And the truth is coming in as I filter in with the DM. My heart is burning. With the DM essence, and they're like, they come to me this morning like, we say we want to help. They don't believe. And I was like, see, it comes down to trust. That's why I said earlier about you all. You all don't want this union. You're showing it. I don't care how much you want to say that. You don't even want union energetically with yourselves. You were so busy in the spot of, and that's what came to me, of not wanting to forgive the divine masculines. I'll say I'm guilty as well with that. I had to shift things around to get to that point with him as well. I say that I have my moments. One moment I'm loving him to death, from that last wave in his head to his long second toe that he got on both of his feet. Toes, rather. But at the same time, I can't let that stop me from getting the blessings and the answers that I need in order to help me understand, why am I stuck? Why is there no progress going on I'm seeing in the physical? I do a lot of the childhood workshops, things of that nature. It tells me, I can tell by I can just only go by, if I go into my masculine, just by the evidence. Not enough of you all are taking advantage of that. I asked also about the trust workshop as well. Not too many of you all send me emails about that in regards to that. Which lets me know, in your mindset, just like I said, it's a couple of you all, and I can feel collectively, it's a percentage of divine feminine. You're like, nah, I'm cool, I got this. No, you ain't. We have a lot of us still with the childhood wounds. I listened to Made for Love. And Made for Love was really eye-opening things as far as what she was talking about. Saying about, she did the interview with the Divine Feminine's mom. If I have time, I'll post that. And had stated that the Divine Feminine mom was really the blueprint of the template that she passed it on to the Divine Feminine as far as how to actually love. And how it's all twisted and the narcissist and neurotic of the way and patterns that she thought that she gave to her child, which to me is a lot kind of similar to my mom. Not intentionally, but unintentionally, they do that through their love. They call themselves protect you, tell you about, man gonna do this, man ain't no good, man in his nature is gonna cheat, that's what he do. Or the way they interact, you learn how patterns are how to love. That is why we come up with these shows, to be able to, or these channels rather, to be able to help you to understand, no, take a look, something's not right. I see that my birthday it's got 0 God force behind it. I'm really coming on here with a hurtful heart, because I just cannot understand what's going on. This divine masculine say, I'm with you. I'm not really understanding what is going on collectively, and I can feel it. It's not just with me. I felt when I woke up this morning, I had to tell tell Demi, I said, I can't talk to you right now because I'm dealing with my own feelings. I don't want to really talk to you and like out, because I can tell it's not my feelings that I'm feeling. I'm tapping into the collective as far as, and I know we're at the point that we got to kind of really to ourselves get into hermit mode and get some things in, but I'm tapping into the divine feminines collectively, and I'm like, you're hurt, you're wounded. You go in there, they say half price. You go in there at half ass. You're doing it halfway. You're not going all in. You're not deep diving into yourself like we did yesterday. Say deep dive into your knowledge, into your well, to really get to see what is actually going on with you. And I that's why I felt like really at the beginning crying, because it's like the divine master's like, we know we messed up, but we trying to help. We trying to make it right. And she don't want our help. And I was like, I think about, I watched yesterday with Sex in the City, and I talked about how the parents also passed on. And they was talking about also with the Divine Masculines Made for Love, which was really good. She was doing an interview with the Divine Masculines father and got some answers about him, and he was saying how his father had hurt him and did some things that he passed on, which made him pass on to his son. And you know, he's not the typical dad. He's like he got an interesting mindset about how it is to be in relationships with his father. And for that point on, he wasn't really there, which is true. That's really the same thing for Demi, for him too as well, you know, because I've asked him, what's going on with your dad? You can tell when you talk to him, like, what's going on with the dad aspect of it? You know, what's happening? He doing all right? Okay, you know, especially when some things happen and some shifts and some changes. I won't get into it because that's his story to tell. But some things have shifted and changed with him and his family dynamic as far as his father. And I was like, well, how he doing with that shift? He all right. It's like, I don't care. I don't want to know. I don't really care because, heck, he wasn't there for me. So why I'm deep diving into his emotions? You know, why did he do X, Y, Z as far as when you growing up? I don't know. You got to ask him. Okay. So you ain't been around him in life enough to kind of get a good understanding as to why he acted the way he acted. And he's like, no, that's it. That's in some ways, like I'm saying, that's his story to tell. I don't know why he did, why he didn't do. I'd say this, he didn't acknowledge, because it's too much of an in-between for you to put in, but he didn't acknowledge him growing up. That leaves a very big void, okay? So I was thinking about that and how she was saying that, and how that, in some ways, I mirror that. I would say that I know I had grew up a long time and believing that my dad was my dad. I did not know at that time I was filtering in to the DM, and it was filtering over on my end. I used to tell I said, yeah, I'm adopted. I don't look nothing like that man. I know you're like, what? But you talk about him, Dad. We got it together at the end. But at the beginning, that's why I said we had a rough start. We had a rough. Me and him on that one. We was together. We had a good beginning. Him and I was pals. Took me everywhere. Grew up. He kind of threw me over to my mom for her to take care of me and deal with me. And I guess because he said, you know, girls need their moms, because there's certain things that she got to learn through that. But I needed him too. Became workaholic, wanted to provide more, and I could probably tell the more he started to love me, the more it threw him into being workaholic, because he wanted to provide and make sure that the lifestyle that he had, he went without a lot of things, and he didn't want me to go without a lot of things. I understand that now in retrospect, and so that caused him to go into worry and go into the opposite turn of it, which is let me go work so I can provide, so I could never, when she asks me for something, she'll never hear the answer or the answer no from me. I got that. So like 10, end of a cycle. So my thing is now understanding that, you know, but at the same time I lost him in the process physically. He wasn't there. And so that's the same thing as far as how the Divine Masculine, Demi and myself, how we're both mirroring each other. My dad was physically there, but checked out emotionally. His father was not there physically, and he was checked out emotionally. So that was like a double whammy, you know. And so that makes him to be a little bit going through a little bit removed when it comes to emotions, which that to me in turn makes me a little bit emotionally removed when it thinks about that, maybe when it comes to the masculines and having a different point of view on things. I watched Sex and the City yesterday, and it was interested about the storyline. That was like the very last one, and the one about Miranda and her husband, had you know, cheated. He came to, he said, I'm sorry, you know, he just blurted it out. I had sex with one person, it meant nothing. I mean, it meant nothing. And excuse me, and you know, I just really, you know, I want to kind of get back to where it was, because in his mindset, and it's a lot of the masculines do have that energy. It's like same thing like I told you about Brandon off of Married at First Sight. Listen, I said I'm sorry. Now let's get over it and let's move on. To divine masculines or masculines in general, like Mom tells me all the time, it's not always divine. They have a hard time wrapping their head around it. It's like I said it. I'm sorry. I poured myself out while we just can't move on and go into the next step. So same thing going back to Sex in the City. Said that, all right then, U-turn. Right. And so that's a masculine doing the U-turn. Not understanding that sometimes you got to form a U-turn and go right back to where you were and start back over at square one. You can't just keep on going from where you are. You got to form that U-turn. It's masculine. And so he went on and said that she threw him out, for years and years. You could tell every time he go pick up the kid, because, they had shared custody. You could see the pain and the anguish on his face. And he was like, I'm sorry. Can we, you're not accepting my phone calls. You ain't saying nothing. She's like, nah, the only business I have with you is just between me and the baby. And that's in Brady. And then that's it, because you gone about that. I won't have no conversation with you. And so then, you can tell every time you just see the anguish and the heartache, and her friends just kind of look like, you sure? Maybe you should kind of take it back. I'm not really in agreement with you cutting them off like that. Everybody kind of slips up and messes up sometimes. And so then, at the end, I like when they went to the therapist, where they was moving faster, because I'm almost at work. They went to the therapist, and the therapist was like, okay, this is what you all do. I think it was New Year's, and they made an agreement that what they were going to do was meet over the bridge. And then at the bridge, like when they did it, the therapist is like, from that point on, when y'all meet and y'all made an agreement, if you all show up on that day at that certain time, that means everything that had happened beforehand, you got to drop it and let it go and leave it in the past. It's like you all are starting anew. That's the same thing like we're thinking about in our thinking, in our emotions. We've got to kind of come to a point that we're starting a new period, full stop. That we're dropping and leaving things to the past. And that's the way that the divine masculine is saying, I guess in some ways to you all, what they were saying, we want to give this olive branch to you all. And some of you all was like, yeah, you take that olive branch and shove it. I don't care, even if you're trying to help me out, I don't want no answers. And maybe some of you all are scared of what the answers is going to be. Maybe that's it. I'd rather be knowing what it is, and then I can take that part on and kind of move from there. If you tell me what's going on and the reasons why, as to why you had said that. Now that's just me, Everybody don't come from that premise. But at the same time, we've got to become like that. We got to make a decision that we want this union, and union with self, some kind of way with us that we showing out in the 3D with our divine masters. In some way, we haven't forgiven ourselves for the way we thought, some things that we done, our indiscretions, and we got to make sure, just like Sex in the City, we got to come up there and meet on that bridge with our emotions and our thinking, and saying from that point on, when we show up, give ourselves a timeline. That's enough of this woe is me and all this stuff kind of thing. But get to the point that saying, you know what? I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to show up for the DM. And from this point on, whatever has happened in the past, this has happened in the past, and we're going to leave it there. We got to come to that point, people. I know it's a process. It's not something you just drop one day and then say, I'm all right, everything is forgiven with the DM. I know that's not a process. It's a slow process that we're getting there. Benita also said, because I'm here at work, Benita also stated that she felt through spirit and said that I'm going to take a screenshot and put it on community if I can do it all, because it was kind of long, so I'm going to have to do it in 2 parts. Stated that the 26th is getting directed, that we're going to have to hold on, because it seems like there's going to be purging of some things and getting rid of some things. Some things are going to be. Now, I always say that this is a disclaimer. You take it as it goes. You, again, can tell the universe, say, okay, some of us, we got it. We can't keep on. Hey, baby. You can't keep on pushing it off the inevitable. You got to have these towers. You got to have these aha moments. But you can tell it said, do it in the way that I receive it, I get it, and as gentle as possible. Oh, you done ran the stop sign. Okay? Make sure that you're doing that. Oh, well, one of the parents is a volunteer. All right, then. When I get up and talk to her for CPS Safe Passages. Isn't that nice? That's really nice. And so you got to get to that point and say, yeah, just bring it on, but bring it in the way that I get it, I receive it, and as gentle as possible. If it can be funny to towers, that's fine, ha, or whatever. But we got to be shaken up emotionally. And as I said, I can see this, and I can feel it collectively for divine feminines. You got like a light touch to this, and you're not being moved. You're on that same spot, and the needle on the record, and it's just going around and around on continuous loop. But you got to be pushed. And I feel this. You got to be pushed. You're not making it, and it's not helping and benefiting the divine masters too, because you're in the lead and you pulling, propelling them. So you got to go on ahead and just go ahead. You're not being pushed to go into your child moment. You're not being pushed to do your mission. Some of you all are in comfort zone and you all right, well, just where you are, you know. And that's why I say I felt it just came to me as a crying that just everybody, I don't know, is the powers that be, but definitely for the divine masculine, it's like we wanted to help, and this is their response. And I felt like on they say, we want to, and it's just a crying in that's even in our DM spirit, and with our DM on the outside in the 3D. You know, we're not helping, we're not doing, not at all. All right, so we got to get pushed. So again, we got to make this commitment for the lover in you, this ring, that you always be true to the cause. All right, have a sunshine-filled day. Until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, namago. Love you.